we recently went to go see the My Hero movie in theaters. It's My Hero World's Mission. We saw it the day it came out. We were gonna drop a review for it earlier, but shit just happened. So, but now we had enough time to really sit with it, and I'm actually glad that I had time to sit with it because I feel like it kind of grew on me over time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like if we reviewed it fresh right off the cuff of us watching it, I don't know, it probably would have differed a little bit. But what was cool about going to see it on day one, we got these packets. They're like the manga. It was pretty much like behind the scenes about the creator explaining the designs and the character plot and explaining the villains and stuff, and which I thought was really cool. But before we dive deep into the story, like I want to do like some like a spoiler-free kind of thing for the beginning, and then we'll go more deep into spoilers at the end. So just in the beginning, what did you think about the movie overall?
So in the beginning of the movie, I thought it was really like, it really knew how to hook. Like, the one thing about My Hero, it really knows how to hook you into the beginning. Like, I feel like every time in My Hero, the beginning scene is always like on some crazy shit. Like, something's going down. You're like, oh shit. It's not really like a slow pace. I feel like majority of the movie is not really slow pace. It's always keeping you entertained. And not a lot of movies do that. Sometimes in the beginning it has you like just building up to the entertainment, but I feel like throughout the whole course of the movie I was being entertained in some shape or form. So
would you recommend this to people who don't watch My Hero shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how'd you enjoy the movie? Like, if you weren't a My Hero fan, like, you know what I mean?
If I wasn't a My Hero fan, I wouldn't recommend probably this My Hero movie as the My Hero movie you should watch. It would probably be definitely like the second one you would probably want to watch if you want to introduce it to someone, because the second one is just crazy. This one is like, you gotta kind of know, like, you don't really gotta know the characters, but I feel like it's better to know the characters more so in this one.
Yeah, there's certain elements in this movie that kind of are spoilery, if any. Well, it makes sense because it's taking place in current times of the anime. So there's certain things that characters can do that they can do in the show. So it's kind of like, you know, certain people are not here, like, you know what I mean? So, but for me, I would still recommend the movie overall, just because we went with somebody who hasn't seen the show and they enjoyed it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
For just as a movie itself, so I would say it's overall I enjoyed this movie, and I would still recommend it for somebody who would just want to have a good time. Like, you know what I mean? A good action. It's funny at some points. There's emotional beats. Like, I feel like it hits all the beats that are important for a movie. All right, so we're about to dive into the spoiler. So if you haven't seen it, if you like anime, watch it. If you don't like anime, I'd still recommend you watching it, just because it's an enjoyable animated movie, regardless of if you've seen the show or not. Like, you know what I mean? It might make you want to watch the show after. Who knows? Okay, spoiler. All right, so let's dive deep into this movie. What did you like? What didn't you like? Shit like that.
So, what I liked about the movie was that, like, it kind of like really like had a simple plot, and it really explained it well. Like, it really explained the intentions of what the cult that we're dealing with in the movie, what their mission is, and like it kind of teaches you more about the My Hero world, about what people think and what's going on. And that's what I liked, is the new piece of information that we obtained about the world. We learned that, like, not everyone's happy about the quirks, and some people have this theory that the quirks can be like the end of the world in the future, which I found kind of interesting.
Super sick, bro. I think, in my opinion, this has the best plot out of all the My Hero movies. like, because it's so it's relatable, it's reasonable, and it made sense. It's like, even as somebody, like, if you watch the show, it would make even more sense because you know that quirks evolve. So it just makes sense that eventually it's gonna evolve past the point of no return where people are like legitimate monsters. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it makes sense that there are gonna be people who are scared of that. And they don't really, in the show, they don't really explain. Of course, like, normal people with like that don't have powers are like, yeah, the heroes, they come to save us, blah blah blah. But eventually it's gonna be like an outnumbered thing. Like, there's gonna be way less people who have no powers, who are kind of vulnerable, who can't really defend themselves. You know what I mean? So it's like that cult, and what's even doper is that there's people in the cult that have powers who can still see, like, this is getting out of hand to a degree, like that. Like, they're willing to risk their lives for this movement, which is, I think, is really cool.
Did it remind you? When you were watching the movie, did it remind you of something else? Like, something else that you watched?
I mean, I think it gave me a little like an Avatar Korra, how like Amon, like the anti-bending movement, and like, you know, just shit like that. Like, or even in real life, how there was black people who didn't want to be free and shit. Like, there's always like these the people on the opposite side who can see the other side of it, and who are willing to die for a cause that makes sense in their brain. You know what I mean? Which I think my hero never really dived deep into it, and I feel like it was dope that they explored this concept in this movie.
Yeah, that kind of, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking more along the lines of like, of course Amon, of course from Avatar. I was thinking more like X-Men. You know how like the whole idea where like they have like they were afraid of the mutants because of their abilities and what they're capable of. And then I also was thinking about what was that show called? Attack on Titan. I was like Aaron. I was like, why can't I think of it? Attack on Titan, where like people are capable of becoming Titans, and some people are afraid of the Titans. They believe, and they have like this whole idea of how the Titans could be like.
Like, it's pretty much like, it's like a fear tactic. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're using an ideology to push fear on people. Like, even though the main villain had powers, he was still afraid of the outcome of what could happen when like the quirks will kind of get out of hand, which I thought was really dope. Like, it added more depth into the plot, into the characters.
Like, you know how Attack on Titan, how some of the Titans on the other side were believing that the only way to repent, they have to do good. Kind of like how like the Arrow girl in this movie, she was thinking the same way. Like, if I serve this cult, I'll be accepted into the new world. I love concept.
Exactly. What's like? Do you have any favorite parts of the movie, or like, you know what I mean, some parts that you didn't like?
So definitely I had a couple of favorite parts. I like the getaway scene with I forgot the character's name.
Yeah, I forgot his name too.
Yeah.
But the new character that they introduced, which I thought he was a pretty cool character. He's probably the best movie character that they've had in My Hero movies, like out of the three that we've had. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was really in depth. Like, they actually went, like, you actually cared about him versus like the other characters in the first and the second movie. Yeah, that chase scene was fucking crazy. Like,
yeah, they made it seem like I thought the chase had to do something with his quirk.
Yeah.
The whole time I was like, yo, how's he doing this? Like, does he have like fast reflexes or something like that? That's how I was thinking.
I thought his quirk was like luck or something. Like, he was just getting lucky because the way he was dipping on Deku, I was like, oh, Deku can't catch this nigga, right? That shit was crazy.
Another scene that I liked was I like, of course, Bakugo's fight. I thought he was going crazy in that whole
That shit
fight.
was bloody. Like
Yeah.
that was the bloodiest I think I've seen. Like on
I was like, damn, like, there's no way he's gonna survive this.
he definitely should have died, bro, with all that blood. Like they were fucking him up. Like that shit was crazy.
It was they were moving so fast to the point where it's like it was hard to read what was going on. That's one thing that was crazy about it. I was like, dang, you really can't keep up with what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And when you read like certain mangas, sometimes it's like that. Like you'll be looking at a drawing, you're like, yo, what the hell is going on in this drawing? Because there's so much going on.
Yeah, facts. One of my favorite parts of the movie was, I think, with the beginning, like, bro, they were just looking swagged out.
The beginning was
everybody, like, it was literally everybody around the world, like, coming to help. Like, it was just so dope. Like, I just found it so dope. Even the older heroes, the younger heroes teaming up together to save the day. Like, it's really dope. Like, it was a big action set piece that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, and it was kind of like a shocker. Like, I'm not used to anime. Like, of course, anime shows do that, but like a show like My Hero, you wouldn't expect to see people like die like that. Like the way how they killed people in the beginning, bro. It's like kids, everything. I was like, yo, like this is crazy.
I know. Like people were really dying. Like I was like, holy fuck!
Like little kids are like coughing. They're like,
yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. Any parts that you didn't really like or enjoy?
So parts that I didn't like, it's gonna be funny is I didn't really like Todoroki's part too much. I feel like it was kind of dry. I don't know why. I don't know what's making it dry. I don't know, like, I feel like with his abilities, they can make it look so much cleaner. They can make it look like he can do so much more.
I think I know what it is. I think they don't really know what to do with him. You know what I mean? I feel like because his power is so crazy, so it's like they don't really know what else they can do. Like I feel like with Bakugo, he's getting better with his techniques. I feel like Deku, he's learning different abilities, but with Todoroki, it's kind of like that's it. Like it's just ice and fire. That's really it. Like I don't know what else. Even in the anime, it's kind of like what else can they add to him now? Like
I don't know, Human Torch form or
something like I don't know. But yeah, I feel like that was he was the weakest link out of the three, which I found was weird because Bakugo's fight was hard and Deku's fight was hard, and all three of them are like the main characters of this movie, even though it's really just Deku and them two tagging along. Like but I don't know. Yeah, that was definitely the weakest link in my opinion.
And then I felt like although Deku scene was fire, I didn't like that very, very end when he just started punching everywhere. Like he was just kind of punching in place and shit. I feel like they could have made it like more fire. I don't know.
I actually disagree with you because I like when I first seen it. Yeah, I was like, but now the more I was thinking about it and I was watching a couple videos on it, I think it was dope just because if you watch it again, he's pretty much emulating All Might. That fight, it was pretty much what he did with the Nomu at the school. You know what I mean? Just breaking the limit, like doing and if you watch it again, it's like, yo, he's really learning. Like he's becoming like that dude now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, of course, with the first movie, that was him and All Might together, and then the second movie it was like him and Bakugo like fused, doing the fucking both turning Super Saiyan and shit. But this one, it was really like him like pushing his limit, and finally like he's becoming closer and closer to All Might, and I feel like it was a cool touch, like to pretty much show his emulation or his like aspirations to become like All Might. Like he even says, I think he says United States of Smash or something like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Something like that. Yeah.
So it's like I actually really thought it was dope. Like, of course, you're comparing it to the second movie, which is like You can't like.
Yeah.
He was different. He was different in that movie. But I
you
feel
know what
like
I think too? I felt like, cause in the show that we're watching, like in the actual season, he's not really good with the black whip like that. But in this one, he was like actually really good with it. I feel like they should have incorporated something more with that.
no,
I
that's
don't
true.
know, into the fighting.
It did end up just him punching him. Like it did end up just being him punching him. But I don't know. I thoroughly still enjoyed that scene. Like he pushed the limit just like All Might did. Like he literally did the
Yeah.
same thing All Might did, which is I think is really dope. Like just seeing the growth from what we saw from him and from the first episode to now, it's like he's really becoming that dude. Like I don't know. I fucked with it.
And you know what's kind of crazy? Watching this movie made me realize how fucked up his whole body is. I was like, yo, like he has all these scars. I'm like, yo, when did he get that? I was like, oh, muscular. Oh
Yeah. He's fucked up, man. I feel like the part that I feel like the middle kind of got a little slow because the first was really fast paced. The beginning, the first half, and then the second half, which makes sense because he was going undercover, like, which I thought was dope. How he had to like put on different clothes and shit, like when he was hiding from the police and shit. I feel like that was cool. I just feel like what I didn't really like was the fact that he just kind of got blamed for killing people, and people were just like, "Oh, yeah, he's a killer now."
Yeah.
I'm like, I guess. Like, I didn't really get how they just went to he killed like 12 people or some shit. But I don't know.
Yeah, how did that even happen?
What I'm thinking is maybe the group had some type of connection.
Oh no,
influence.
They
Yeah,
had people in the police force.
yeah, which may okay, that's making more sense now.
Yeah. The thing is too though, I wish like I wish more of the students were involved in this movie.
Yeah, they were really like nowhere to be found.
But everyone was like in a different country, in different state. So they all kind of showed up at the end. But I wish I wish they would add more like more of the other students in other movies. Like when they come out with further movies, like don't focus on Bakugo or Todoroki. Add in like 2 others, you know what I mean, into the movie, I guess.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like we can't chastise this series for doing it, but then praise Dragon Ball Z for doing it. Goku and Vegeta. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, of course. But like the reason why I say that with this one, because when I think of superhero movies, I think of teamwork. So like I don't know. I feel like with superhero movies, they always like with superhero shows and movies, unlike anime, they always kind of incorporate everybody into the show a lot better. I feel like.
But I hear you. At the end of the day, it is an anime.
Anime, yeah.
So it's like you can only do so much. I do feel you because I like the whole cat. I like all the class 1A and 1B. Like I like all of them. I feel like they're all unique characters. But at the end of the day, it's like you can't get mad at them for doing that. We knew it was at the end of the day it was gonna be the final boss versus Deku. Like that's just what it was.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But overall, I do enjoy this movie. I don't know if it's better than. I think the plot is better than any of the other movies, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Like the first movie, he just went on a random island that he never heard of. The second movie, it was pretty much the same thing, except for people were chasing them, like trying to get the quirks. I feel like this was really cool, and that we got to travel somewhat around the world. Like, you know what I mean? We got to see different locations. Yes, I feel like that was cool. I like the character more. The new character that they introduced, I like the villains more. This is probably the best villain that we've had in the movies. So it's like I feel like people are disappointed at this movie because of the ending. Because they're known of doing like crazy super ultra moves, finisher moves at the end. It's like they can't do that every single time.
Yeah.
I was like,
I was gonna say like, what why do you like the villain so much? Like, did you like the reasoning behind his actions, or like just the overall, like, as the group? I don't like the villain.
No, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, the villain is. It could have been anybody, but it's like I think niggas said, "Yo, they wasn't fucking with me, so I had to." Like, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm talking about the villain corporation, like, and the plot, like that was really interesting.
Cause I did get into like a little debate about this before with someone else. Cause we were talking about the Mugen's Train, and then we were talking about My Hero, and one of the arguments was about like the villain, like the villain's reason for doing everything he was doing was kind of like whack. But it's like, don't think about just the villain. Think about the whole organization. Like, people believe that these quirks can get out of hand, and like, despite the villain saying that no one was messing with him, that's one of the reasons of him making this cult following. That wasn't the only reason. It was like he couldn't control his power, and exactly. That fed into the idea of the theory that a lot of people believed in. You know what I mean? And a lot of people clearly did believe in it if they were willing to kill thousands of people.
Yeah, like what I thought was really dope was that Arrow chick, she just sacrificed her life, but she just killed herself, which I wasn't expecting. Like, a lot of these people were just like, "Yo, I'm willing to die for this shit," which I think is really, it shows how much they believe in their cause, and like, whatever anybody says, Mugen Train was trash. I don't go fuck. Yeah. Like, that movie was beat, bro. Like,
I was trying to. I was like, yo, how could you? He.
I know who you're talking about too, Matt. That nigga
person
just
thought, even thought like it was better. I was like, there's no way that.
Yo, we need to get that nigga on here because I'll cook him. I'll go fuck. Yeah, no. Like, we're not gonna talk about how this random nigga comes out of nowhere and kills this. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. Right? The animation, I'll give Demon Slayer movie like the little slight in animation. Yeah. Because just because the animation style is so unique. But at the end of the day, this movie was a way better, enjoyable ride from start to finish. Like, better plot, better characters. I don't want to hear that.
I totally agree, 100%.
Like, My Hero has the best anime movies that I've seen, in my opinion, personally. Like, regardless of what people think, I feel like it's cool because you still, even though they're the main characters, you still get a little like, oh shit, like he might lose, like, oh, he might die. Like, Bakugo, it's like, oh shit, like he might die, like, oh, like, you know what I mean? Like, so just the fact that a movie could do that, play with your emotions like that, that's automatically a win in my book. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But yeah, so what would you rate this movie 1 out of 10?
I would give it like a 7.5.
I agree. I'd give it like a 7.5, 8, around there.
Yeah. How do you do you like the villain's abilities, like the powers?
I liked all of them. I guess the main one was like, he pushes the forces back that you put on him or whatever. Like, whatever. It was just something that Deku couldn't beat off rip. Like, so it was like, I like the way it looked visually. I like the way he looked. I like his character design. I like, you know what I mean? I like the way he was, like, he looked like he was standing a chance against Deku. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it was just another villain. It's like you can only do so much with a
I feel like there was a little bit more to his power too, because like even when he kicked the shit out of Deku at one point, like he came up and kicked him. Like, I don't know if he's able to store power as well, but
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's what it looked like. Yeah, visually it looked really dope. It's like you can only act so much for one villain. It's like if they brought him back into the show, it would have been like, he's just another villain. But for this movie, I feel like he did his thing.
When you really think about it, it took Deku like a lot for him to just break down his walls. That dude's quirk is pretty powerful. Like,
yeah, it is.
God,
it is. And I was wondering if like, imagine if All Might hit him with his full strength, would he be able to hit him back with that? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that would just shit like that is pretty cool in my opinion. But you know, yeah, I'm excited to see the next movie because even though this one was like that, my expectations wasn't like blown out. It was still like met.
Yeah, yeah. It was
So
still the movie by. I felt like.
yeah, like I had a great time watching it. So I'm excited to see the next one. I really want to know because so pretty much from what we've been seeing, like by the time another movie comes out, Deku's gonna have like 3 other quirks or some shit. So
Yeah.
that, and you know that fight's gonna be nuts. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm excited to see what comes next, pretty much. You know?
You know what I was thinking? Actually, since we had like a little villains arc, imagine we had like a little My Hero Villains movie. I don't know. I think that
would
was
be nuts.
fire.
Yeah.
I think that would be crazy.
I hope. Imagine if they did The War as a movie.
Oh, that would be fire too.
That would be fucking crazy. That would be crazy. But I feel like they like doing these one-off villains that we've never seen before. Like, you know what I mean? Just so Deku could really fuck them up. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah. I'm excited.
The reason why I say like a villains movie, I feel like if you make a villains movie with Shigaraki, you're probably gonna make it a little bit like canon, a little bit to have like some.
You have to. Yeah.
Like it'll be like a way for him to obtain something that he needs or something like that. I feel like at the end. I don't know.
Something I'm hoping for is that maybe we get like a flashback movie with All Might in his prime.
Yeah.
Like a flashback to like when All Might fought or One for All for the first time. Like I feel like that would be a fire.
I wanna know why he has a face when he's younger, but he doesn't have a face now.
You talking about All for One?
No, All Might.
Nah, they just don't explain that shit. Why he has a giant smile and shit. Like it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad to see, and it did really well. I think it hit like 10 million at the box office on its first week, which is fucking crazy. Like you gotta respect that. Like it's doing it's doing its thing for anime in general. Like, you know what I mean? Which I think is really dope. And when we went to go see it, the theater was packed out. Mm-hmm. So
glamour of wearing diamonds.
Diamonds bring status, elegance, and prestige. Their brilliance makes